Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Shem Sheba, Shem Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, or the true leaders of Israel today. And salutations to all the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds, who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalia, and I'm from the GMS Kingston Camp, and this video is about current events and Bible prophecy. Alright, so we have this breaking news, I'd say. US and UK attack Yemen. And it's all over the news, from Al Jazeera to CNN to the BBC, The Guardian, CNBC, USA Today, NBC News, the Financial Times. So everyone's reporting it, all right? All of Esau Edom, who's the so-called white man, all of his main news outlets are reporting this, okay? NPR, France 24, etc., 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 okay? And these are the articles that come out based on my location out here in Jamaica, but I'm sure everywhere worldwide is reporting this. So I have some from 5 hours ago. Let's see what the titles are saying. World reacts to US-UK attacks on Houthi targets in Yemen. US and UK carry out strikes against Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen. US and UK strike Houthi sites in Yemen in response to unprecedented attacks. Middle East crisis. Houthis say US-UK will pay a heavy price after Yemen strikes. All right, so I have no idea why they even struck them, why the US and UK struck them, but they are already vowing to strike back. Okay, to rebel. The Houthi rebels promised to retaliate. So let's look at this one from Al Jazeera an hour ago. The United States and Britain have launched military strikes in Yemen in response to Houthi rebel attacks on shipping in the Red Sea, raising fears of an escalation of conflict in the region. Hours after the attacks early on Friday, which the rebels said killed 5 people, the Houthis warned that all US and British assets have now become legitimate targets. US President Joe Biden said the strikes followed unprecedented attacks by the Houthis on commercial ships in the Red Sea, and warned he would not hesitate to take further action if necessary. These targeted strikes are a clear message that the United States and our partners will not tolerate attacks on our personnel or allow hostile actors to imperil freedom of navigation, Biden said of the attacks by air and sea. The attack struck nearly 30 locations in Yemen using more than 150 munitions. U.S. Lieutenant General Douglas Sims, the director of the Joint Staff, said on Friday he did not expect a high number of casualties, as the targets included those in rural areas. But he said Washington expected the Houthis to attempt to retaliate. In a statement, the Houthi Supreme Political Council threatened that all American and British interests have become legitimate targets for the Yemeni armed forces in response to their direct and declared aggression against the Republic of Yemen. Earlier, the Houthis called the strikes on Yemen barbaric, threatened retaliation, and also said they will continue targeting ships heading towards Israel for as long as its war on Gaza continues. Okay, so, all right. So apparently it's the ships that were heading to Israel that the Houthis were going for, and then the US and the UK retaliated, and now the Houthis say they're going to retaliate or something. The American British enemy bears full responsibility for its criminal aggression against our Yemeni people, and it will not go unanswered and unpunished, Yahya Saree, the group's military spokesperson, said. Okay, so, I mean, Esau Edom is doing what Esau Edom does best, right? I mean, the whole situation is most likely just crafted truly by the elite of Esau Edom, you know, to bring about chaos, and also that chaos they'll bring through their order. All right, because the elite of Esau Edom, you know, they have their plans, and their plans is that they want to bring the world to the point where the people are faced with the choice of having to take the mark chip, which is the mark of the beast. All right, that's what everything that you see going on is going on for. Okay, yeah, all these little skirmishes and whatever else over there in the so-called Middle East and whatever, it's all a part of their plan to bring forth their NWO, right? So the veracity of this entire situation, I'm skeptical as we're dealing with the devil. It says, the scripture said, never trust thine enemy. But let's continue reading. Yemen's Saudi-backed internationally recognized government, however, blamed the Houthis for the UK and US strikes on the country, saying the rebels bore responsibility for dragging Yemen into an arena of military confrontation with its attacks in the Red Sea. Pentagon spokesperson Pat Ryder told Al Jazeera that the U.S. military is closely monitoring the situation and hasn't seen any retaliatory attacks from the Houthis so far. Our goal here is to ensure this vital waterway, the Red Sea, is safe and secure for international shipping and mariners, he said. Okay. Treacherous aggression. On Friday, tens of thousands of Yemenis gathered in several cities across the country to condemn the U.S. and British strikes and to reaffirm their support for Palestinians in Gaza. All right, so this is about, it's stemming from the whole situation that happened from last year, and it's continuing. All right, which, Salakio. So you have the U.S., the state of Israel, and of course America's, the allies against Iran and the Houthis and against Hamas and all that kind of stuff. And they've already brought up Iran into it. The U.S. and the state of Israel, right? They've already brought up Iran. And these Houthis, I think one of them said it is, they're Iran-backed. So this is a contention between the U.S. and the U.K. and Iran. And this is something that continues to just build up. And it's going to continue to build because Iran is a part of biblical prophecy and a part of World War III. Now, in regards to this overall situation, I saw the Elder Apostle Tahar do a video on this, and that's what sparked my video. The US and the UK go to war with the Houthis, the war of Armageddon is here. I haven't taken in the videos yet. The Spirit just jumped on me to just, do my own really quickly with my own thoughts. But I'm going to watch it and see what his thoughts are. But he did say the war of Armageddon is here in the title. All right. And that's because we have these major players at play in regards to biblical prophecy. All right. So I mentioned Iran is a major part of it. And we can start in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, right? Ezekiel chapter 38, it talks about, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech, and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And that starts in verse 2. And that's talking about Russia right there. And say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech, and Tubal. And that's talking about Russia. And I bring thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I bring thee forth all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So this is saying that they're going to go to war and that they're going to have an alliance with them, a great company. And it says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmets. And Persia, they are the Iranians who are the biblical Elamites, right? So Iran is an ally of Russia. And when you go to verse 7, it says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And so the subject is Russia, that is, it's referring to be prepared and to assemble unto thee and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia is going to be a guard unto its allies, and its main ally that, we know about, that it shows literally on a worldwide scale, is Iran, right? So you can see these contentions continually happening between America and her allies and then Iran, right? And so eventually this is all going to lead to the World War III, the War of Armageddon. All right. In Revelation chapter 16 and verse 16, it talks about that. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon, right? And as you can see, it's still that same era of contention over there in the so-called Middle East. And that's where the Lord is bringing them together, over there in that area, all right? And so in the book of Joel chapter 2 and verse 20, it says, But I'll remove far from you the northern army, which is talking about the US and NATO, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, which that barren land is referring to the land of Saudi Arabia, with his face toward the east sea, which is the Euphrates River, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, which is the Red Sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. All right, so I brought out this precept to show you further the location of contention over there in the so-called Middle East. All right, when you Google, you look at the map, you look at the Euphrates River and the Red Sea, and you can see that area. All right, that's the area where the Lord is bringing them together. And in Joel chapter 3 and verse 9, it says, Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, talking about the heathen here. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war come near, let them come up. And the heathen are all nations that are not the nation of Israel. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh's judgment, God's judgment. Okay, for those that don't know the name. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So the Lord is gathering all of the heathen into this one place to be judged. So you're going to have Russia, okay? Just from the Ezekiel 38, we have Russia, we have Iran, Ethiopia and Libya refers to the so-called African nations. They'll be a part of it. And verse 6 talks about Gomer and the house of Togarmah. That's referring to Turkey, which Turkey, they're a part of the alliance with the US and the UK. All right, they are a part of NATO, right? But they're going to join hands with Russia and her allies. So things are happening in regards to that as well. You can see how Turkey, by way of the news, has been siding with, well, I wouldn't say necessarily side. That wouldn't be the 100% correct thing. It is more like defending and siding with, you know what I'm saying? Iran and Russia, because they are against what America and the state of Israel and the rest of their allies are doing. So that relationship is deteriorating, which it's supposed to. All of this is biblical prophecy, right? All of this is biblical prophecy. For this in Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, which is World War III, right? So we have all of these major players at play. And in the book of, in regards to Iran, Iran is going to be coming out very powerful. Once it is that they really go to fight against America and her allies, they're going to be wild, man. In 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 30, it says, Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power they shall come. The Carmanians are referring to the Iranians, who are the biblical Elamites, and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, right? And the land of the Assyrians is talking about the Edomites, the so-called white man, all right? And actually in verse 29 first, when it says join with them, it says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, okay? And the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, and all they which hear them may fear and tremble. So the Ishmaelites are going to be going to war too. So all of the heathen are going to be gathered together, and we're just going to be seeing things happening that is going to be causing these heathen to gather together. And we're constantly seeing major players in regards to this World War III prophecy. It's constantly happening in the news because we're dealing with prophecy, right? Okay, so that's All praise is glory and honor to Yahweh Shem Shai, Shem Kodesh. Shalom.